our investigation found a student expelled for sexual misconduct can simply move from college to college without school officials ever knowing about their past. Indiana Congressman Andre Carson says that needs to change. He's co-sponsoring legislation called the Safe Transfer Act. If a university finds a student responsible for sexual violence, they have to note it on the student's academic transcript. Now, our investigation found Vincennes University student Valdemar Castellano was expelled after he was accused of raping and beating a student. He then enrolled at another university in Ohio who was unaware of Castellano's sexual misconduct history. Now, Congressman Andre Carson and Representative Jackie Spear of California both saw our story and say it prompted them to act.
I was inspired by your story, and Jackie and I sat on armed services together. We sit next to each other on the Intelligence Committee, and we've talked about this matter, but your story was a great motivating factor, tremendously so. So keep up the great work.
The Safe Transfer Act would require sexual misconduct information to be included on the perpetrator's transcript. The disclosure requirement would sunset 5 years after the disciplinary proceeding, and the student would have an opportunity to write a statement that would accompany the record. And lawmakers also point out another case in Virginia where a student was accused of sexual assault, transferred schools, and was again accused of raping a student.
Kara, there's always going to be supporters and opposers, so what do opponents to this legislation say?
Well, critics have a lot to say. They say this could potentially ruin a student's life if they're accused of rape but not necessarily convicted of the crime. Now, keep in mind that universities look at whether or not a student violated a code of conduct, and universities have a different threshold, a different burden of proof. They just have to prove that the allegations are more likely to be true than not true, and this is totally separate from a criminal investigation. So some say that by listing this information, sexual misconduct information on a college transcript, you could be labeling someone as sexually violent when that may not be the case.
Very interesting, Kara Kenny. Thank you.